Hey, welcome to Black Amethyst Oracle. This is Carmen. Today I am offering 3 readings for 3 different energy groups looking into connections that are happening. And I want to look at how things are changing, what may be hidden, what may be coming to light, your needs, their needs, what you might need to know moving forward. I'm inspired by the moon. We're currently in Cancer season. It's been a really high emotion sort of time, and a little bit of confusion and a lot of like things being revealed. So I just wanted to sort of tap into that nature of relationships right now and connections and situationships or whatever. Beneath each of these cards, I pulled the moon from each deck that I'm using, and I'll introduce you to those momentarily, but beneath each moon card is a stack of oracles. I had to charge my device, so I went ahead and meditated in each group and got a vibe on the current energy of the connection. So at the beginning of each reading, we'll look at those and you may be able to confirm if it's your situation or not. And as far as that goes, you know, sometimes we try to move it around and explain all the ways it can apply to different situations. And I'd like to do a little bit less of that and give you that power, like, if it can fit your situation, if it feels right or not. I don't feel the necessity to describe every possible situation, because these are general collective readings and they're going to be different, unique situations. But there's always a current of kind of mutual energy going on, and you'll notice, you'll look around, it's like, oh, everybody's breaking up, everybody's getting married, everybody's doing this, everybody's doing that. Like that's interesting how that happens, and I think that has a lot to do with why we can find messages in these readings, is because we are all part of something bigger, and we are moving with the celestial bodies. All right. Group 1 is using the MUSE Tarot, and it has Peach Moonstone and Amazonite, which I'm going to put a still in so you can get a real good up-close view of these. The second group is using Way Home Tarot with Black Moonstone and Blue Apatite. And the third group is using SERPENTFIRE Tarot with Tiger Eye and Chrysocolla. So I will put that still in so that you can feel for that hit. The way I do that is I focus on each one individually, and just one usually just feels like underneath and inside there's more for me, So I am so curious how you do it, how other people do it, picking your reading. Have you found a way that consistently works for you? That's all really cool and fascinating to me. So feel free to share that in the comments. I'd love more conversations. I'd love a lot of things, but we're just doing what we can. Okay, I'm gonna put it in and I'll see you there. Hi, group 1. All right. I hope the mic is picking up well, You chose the first group. You chose MUSE Tarot with this Peach Moonstone and this Amazonite. What I did something a little different, and I noticed basically bottom deck energy on your deck, which had been thoroughly shuffled, and then I found the moon and pulled it. But I took a look and I was like, oh. And then I looked at the one behind it and I was like, oh yeah. So what I decided to do for each group is take the top 2 or bottom 2, whichever you want to say, cards to help me sort of like assess the current energy, current vibe of the connection in question. So I did that, and I have 4 other oracle cards. I'm going to put this stuff up here and get these out for you. Yeah. So they were Six of Swords and the Lovers. And then we have Hawk, Protection, Scarab, and Earth. I want to tell you like what this is all telling me about the energy of this current, the current energy of this connection that you're thinking of, and then you'll know, you know, if it sounds right to you. Okay. First of all, with the Six of Swords and the Lovers, I was immediately picking up on that these are both air cards. There's a lot of mental energy involved here. The connection may feel like you may feel very mentally same page, you know, like you may communicate well, and you may feel like you have just like a lot of similar ideas about how things work and what you like and don't like, or just a real deep understanding at least. So a lot of this mental air energy that I immediately realized, and it may also feel, you know, it may also feel like a bit of a deep, you know, with the Lovers, like this sort of deep bond, like something that was not just a happy accident, like something a little bit guided, you know, by spirit, like something that was like meant to occur for sure. Like the two of you meeting, you may have that feeling, and that is supported over here with the Hawk. The Hawk is a divine messenger. The Hawk is about, just as the eagle, these are watchful and intuitive guides. The Hawk to me is saying that your connection, regardless of what state it's in, is a divinely guided and watched connection. Like there is more to it than meets your mortal eyes or their mortal eyes. There's definitely a feeling of a lot of intuition at play here. Like I was talking about the mental energy, there's probably like this feeling like you just can almost understand each other without the words sometimes. Not always, you know. But the other cards are giving me some more background into what may be happening right now. With protection, I get the feeling that you may be wanting to protect the relationship, or they may be as well. But this is really primarily from your perspective, but also just sort of a spiritual perspective. Like hits and hints about that. So with the protection, I think you may feel like this sort of this desire to keep it, this desire to preserve it, this desire to hold on and not let anything get in the way, not let your own selves get in the way, not let outer influences get in the way. Like this real sort of like oh gosh, like a vibe of wanting to just kind of hold on to it and not being able to let go. So that may speak to your situation a little bit. Maybe it's something you're not sure about whether or not you should let go. I got that here with the Six of Swords. Like it seems like there's this question of like how to move forward. There may have been some hard times, and maybe you're just not feeling ready to let go kind of vibe. Scarab is talking about second chances, and you know, it's important to know that, you know, we go through cycles, and sometimes you know, if you think of a record going around on a table and a needle being in a groove, and like you're both in the same groove and it's going around, and then like if the record skips, there's a glitch or whatever, you know, like the next thing you know, you're not in the same groove anymore. And sometimes you can come back into that, and sometimes you just don't, and you just go, the needle keeps moving and you're in different grooves, and maybe you realign and maybe you don't. Like it's just like this feeling of, you know, hoping you can come back into alignment. You know, I get that. But there's also this importance and this question maybe that has been raised in your mind about whether or not you should keep holding on to that hope or let go. And with Earth, there's definitely an element of needing to get grounded, wanting to ground the relationship, you know, the connection or whatever, and just wanting to for everything to just be solid, like for things to be consistent and dependable, you know, like, and strong. Like there's this feeling of just wanting that, and yet the slight question about whether or not that will actually happen. I don't think just in this energy alone, it doesn't feel like a highly volatile in a negative way situation. This actually feels like a very beautiful connection that has probably been acknowledged by both of you in that way at some point. And it definitely gives me this idea that just this antiquity, you know, like this sort of like, no matter how much time passes, or you know, that what you're looking at, you know, this feeling of wanting to protect it is like valid, because you know that it's deep, and you know that it's like sort of spiritual, you know, like it's deeply like sanctioned by your higher selves, both of yours. I feel like you feel that. You seem willing to both do what needs to be done on your part to keep this and let it flourish, and you also seem to be willing to try to let it go if that's the best thing. Like, I get this feeling that you've got a really kind of like well-rounded perspective, or like sort of a higher, like an understanding of a higher purpose. Like you're not trying to force anyone to love you. Like you really want what's best for you and what's best for someone else. So as far as the connection itself, I think yeah, I'm not getting a whole lot about it being in any one particular state. So that leaves it very open to a lot of possibilities. Like I said, you'll have to find what is true for you. But I think I'm just really seeing just that the essence is significant. This is a significant connection in both of your lives, and it has a feeling of something with a lot of value and worth to you, and a lot of potential as well. Okay. Yeah, that didn't say a whole lot about you know, the details of your situation right now, but I do want you to know that it's telling me kind of what I need to know, you know, just the kind of like the basis of the emotion here. And I'm gonna clear these up a little bit, And then we're going to get into some questions. Do this. Number 1, Peach Moonstone, Moonlight. Tell me how this connection started, or the beginning, early energy. King of Cups. Queen of Swords. Okay. I don't know how I'm doing this. I guess I'll do it like that. So it looks to me like it started with like a tidal wave. Like it started with you know, a lot of intensity, a lot of emotions, and a lot of like excitement, you know, about a mutual feeling. And also like this feeling of like, you know, trying to rein that in and trying to control that and trying to be like, not get lost, like probably on both your parts or at least one of you. Really trying to, you know, keep a handle on the situation and not just be like a total, not to go totally all in, like fighting this desire to go totally all in, like probably both of you, possibly just one of you. But it feels like it started just out the gate, like lots of mutual attraction, lots of, you know, just like a real compatibility feeling, like just an instant like, oh yeah, like we get each other, and I feel so much already, and it's very overwhelming, and I feel like I need to you know, temper that a little bit and like just don't lose my head, and just, you know, think about the world. You know, there's the love plane that we live on, and then there's the real world. So it's hard sometimes to, you know, the head and the heart, that's what I get right here. Like a real kind of like I kind of want to say like a showdown between the head and the heart, because like the heart's like, nah, this is amazing and I'm so into it, and the head is like, okay, it's very early. That feels like how it started. How's it going? Currently. Okay, we've got a 2 of Swords. There's a choice involved. Decision involved. Kind of like not knowing which way to go, and kind of being torn. You could be together or apart, and this could be happening. More about this 2 of Swords, please, for group 1. And the Queen of Cups. Yeah, so there's this feeling of you know, kind of not knowing what to do next, and what just sort of being stuck in like a I you know, like I don't know which way to go, but a ton of love, a ton of emotion still, like a lot of, you know, nobody has forgotten this. There's just a stuck feeling in this decision. It's really hanging you or them or both of you up. You know, even if the decision feels like it's in someone else's hands, it's holding you up, and it's like, do I keep moving, or do I hold on to all this love that I feel, all this love that I know exists between us, that is real. this Queen of Cups speaking about a great deal of true care and just this gentle compassion toward each other, and this feeling of needing that. Okay. And now, what seems to be, whoops, come on now. What seems to be emerging? How's it looking moving forward? What is emerging? For number one. This is a 9 of Wands. Really finding the courage and strength inside and the confidence to like go with whatever's decided. I'm gonna need more on that, but there's definitely, you know, an emerging energy of wanting to just take it how it's coming, you know, like deal with the choice and the decision that is made or made between you or by the other person. Like you definitely have your own decision to make always, regardless of what another person is doing. You still have a, you know, it's not just what they say, you still have a say. And sometimes it's easy to get kind of lost in this feeling that like, oh, if they just want to do this, I'm totally down to do this. And you just really focus on all the good things and all the things you want to do and all the things you love about it. But like, it's also okay to, you know, look within and find your warrior inside and really just stand your ground and look at some of the things that are causing the questions and what those are and why, you know, why they're coming up or why they have come up and how you truly feel about that. Because we can get so distracted by the loss or the fear of loss or the threat of loss of something that we forget to really look at it from our own objective point of view. You know, it's like, no, you've got me wanting this so bad because you're trying to take it that I'm not looking at what you know, what isn't really great about it either. Like I have, you know, if there's something that needs to be determined in the situation, it's probably likely not just someone else's decision, you know. So it does seem like this does speak to your energy of I said there was a feeling of like kind of like not knowing whether to hold on and to these emotions or just try to let go and move forward. And there's this really emerging sense in the connection of like everybody, you know, finding the courage to move through the decision that they want to make. And then more about emerging energy with this, please. And this is the 6 of Wands. So I just feel like there's definitely a feeling of coming into power, you know, like this 9 of Wands and 6 of Wands. That's a lot of like beautiful power. And, you know, 6 is about, you know, just feeling good and feeling like, you know, like worthy and kind of special, like kind of having a bit of a glow up and being like, yeah, like I'm good. I'm worth this. I'm worth that. I'm worth more, you know, and just really being able to go inside and find that, you know, love yourself and be like, I deserve this. I'm worthy of this. And I want this. And because this is all fiery, these are wands. And like, so coming in for the connection itself is probably on both sides, you know, meaning the two of you, each of you, having that sense of really knowing what it is that you are worth and what it is you really want to do moving forward, you know, like what it's going to take to protect your own heart, and then if so, protect this connection. Like, okay. So my next question is this is similar to how this is looking, but I'd like to know a little bit more about what is changing. And I mean, there's emerging energy, right? That's for you guys. But like, what is changing in the connection, like in the evolution of the connection based on like how you've both been acting and reacting? What is changing? We have a 6 of Pentacles. The give and take is changing. If somebody's been giving more, it's about to balance out a little bit, I think. If, you know, if, let's just say you were giving a lot and they started pulling back and not giving, and you're going to start, you know, pulling back and stop giving so much, and then they're gonna start giving more. Like what I'm seeing changing here is a more balanced, reciprocal connection. You know, like in the connection, it is coming into a place of just better. Of like sharing, you know, like I mean, that's just like sharing the love, the light resource, you know what I'm saying? Like to getting that good energy going back between you again, like you felt up here, but with, you know, maybe we've got to address like the like hesitance, but like in the chain, in the structure of the bond, you know, there's a change happening around the way you are receiving each other, and that being more fair and balanced. I don't think there's any lack of kindness or sweetness between you. This is all a beautiful connection, like we said in the first part. And what else is changing in this connection? What is changing in the structure of this bond? You know, I believe that when we create cords of connection with another person, you know, we have layers. You know, there's physically intimate and affectionate types of cords running, and we have the mental and the thought and the telepathic stuff, and then we have the emotional stuff, the heart stuff that we share. Like there's a lot of different parts that create the cord of connection between you, and that's kind of what I'm trying to look at. And when, you know, when we place like destiny, divine hand, like timing, synchronicity, alignment, like all of this stuff onto that cord and like shine on it, and we can kind of look at like how it is mutating into, like, you know, is it dissipating, is it fading, is the color lacking, is it getting bold, you know? More about what's changing for number 1. It's changing in the structure of this connection. This is the 4 of Cups. Yeah, so I think there's just been like a bit of a distance and this sort of like detachment a little bit. Like maybe somebody's actually been struggling with things that don't have anything to do with this. There's just like a hint of, you know, what do you call it? Melancholy. Like there's this sort of feeling of focusing too much on that's a little pessimistic, like focusing too much on like the negativity. But I see this as, you know, whoever's been doing that, or if you've both been doing that within the connection, this sort of like bringing it together, like bringing like, oh gosh, okay, sorry, bear with me. Like there's, if somebody has been, like here when I said maybe someone was giving less, this person giving less, like really kind of being in a less positive, or maybe even just a little flat kind of way, like a little, you know, somebody who's been sort of like thinking about it, but kind of looking at the negative, or like just not feeling super great about things in their life, things that, you know, they have going on, who they are, like whether or not they're up to task, and all this stuff. I guess what I see changing here is that, you know, just being able to share and be more balanced in the emotional department, and in the groundedness, like not having someone basically finally be willing to look at everything, you know, like not like zoom out, like, you know, like you want to, they're gonna zoom out and not see just like the pessimistic stuff. There's no other way for me to say this, and I'm trying to find like ways to convey what I'm saying. But like, if somebody has been kind of moody, kind of down, just looking at the, you know, negative outcome possibilities. I don't know how else to say that. I don't know why I can't talk. But if somebody's been kind of in that state, then I feel like what is changing in this connection is this bringing it back into like a mutual shared excitement, where instead of, and because of like someone being able to zoom out of their funk, basically, that they've been in. I'm sorry, that felt really all over the place. I hope you understand what I'm saying, or trying to say. Okay. What may be hidden here in the connection? What may be hiding within the connection? Or what may be hidden from... How do I want to do this? What might be hidden? I'm just going to put it like that. For this number one, what is in hiding right now? Like what I'm thinking it. I can't put words out all the time. Spirit hears thoughts. Okay. Okay. So the Page of Cups. For hidden, this Page of Cups. I think there's a plan coming together to reach out, to communicate about this, like to express a new point of view. This person maybe who may have been in a sadness, maybe putting together like they could be over here in Nine of Wands, you know, getting it together in order to like come and let you know kind of like more about what they've been going through, or what they want to do with you, or what they're thinking and feeling. But it has to do with them kind of quietly working on this idea. Like I feel it's almost like you may not know it, and they're still figuring out like what they want to say. I feel they're feeling very humbled by the experience, and concerned about maybe having scared you off. And more about something hidden here. Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, I think there's been a a growth spurt, shall we say. Like this person has been kind of like working on themselves in a way, like really just kind of getting it together emotionally, mentally, I think quite possibly physically too, like maybe financially, but just really kind of working on it, and behind the scenes, like you're probably not aware of everything that they've been doing, and maybe neither one of you is quite aware of how much the spirit realm is working, I get, to help you to both be in your best energy, because there's definitely a feeling of when it's good, like when I say good, I mean whatever, like when it's going and it's feeling right with the two of you, there's a lot of creativity and power, and a lot of sweet, kind, unconditional caring and love between you. So I think it's a very, like I said, this with the hawk and everything, like supported by spirit, but there's definitely I think a little intervention going on and from the realm in helping this person get through this stuff. Okay. What is being revealed in the shadow? What are some things that need to be healed and addressed and healed? What kind of shadow is being revealed? Or what is the shadow revealing? I guess what I'm trying to get to is what is the shadow of this connection revealing? The parts that have needed work, you know, when I say the shadow of the connection, the hidden parts, this kind of stuff. What is shadow revealing? What is the shadow of this connection revealing now? Okay. Is it in there? It's a Four of Swords. I'm afraid I'm gonna catch something on fire. Okay. Shadow is revealing how important it is, how vital it is for personal time, for peace, for you both to be able to like have personal space and take care of yourselves and not be lost in this that was so potentially consuming. It's a very difficult balance when everything is that amazing. So the shadow, the thing that you've been through, anything that's been difficult, anything that's been less, comfortable, is really telling you how important it is to take that time, be still within and still hear your own, needs, and not getting lost in something that feels amazing. I mean, it happens all the time. It's like perspective in your own space when you're calm is invaluable, like the difficult period as difficult as it may be, allows for this sort of like, period of rest, this Four of Swords, this like this time to really just think about everything and feel through it and work on the things you need to work on and recognize the things you need to recognize. And like, it's really just telling me that the difficulty that has been encountered here is really a reminder to, stay connected with yourself and take those moments to remember who you are always, and more about what shadow is revealing in this connection. And I have justice. It's really showing you both like what the right thing is, like what, you know, how, like the hows and whys of the relationship, of the connection. It's really showing you, you know, for this justice, like it's showing you more information about how to balance it, and like, you know, what is fair and right, and there's just a lot about, like we said over here, with the coming into like this reciprocity of like things being very more fair and give and take, and this is saying, shadow is revealing to you both just what you have, and what you know, how to decide this rest period, you know, how to go within and be still with your own mind and your own heart, and know the right thing to do. And that's what the difficult time is actually gifting you, is this beautiful, you know, contemplation time of what it is. It's not even what you want, because I don't think there's any question about what is wanted here. I think it's showing how to do it, how to do this, how to be in something so intense and not be fully consumed. And then on the bottom here, I have awakening here, which is judgment in this deck, and it has to do with you know, to me, that decision, that like feeling ready and getting that epiphany, and knowing what to do and knowing how to move forward. And I think that is also a part of this, like, you know, this time of reflection and really working it out and thinking about it and being like, you know what, I know what I want to do. And I can't say that, you know, exactly what that is, because it depends on your situation, but I can tell you that this awakening card and all of this, it feels very positive. It feels very favorable, if, you know, for the two of you, if you want to, like the scarab said in the beginning, you know, like if there's a renewal or a second chance or a cycle that has ended and a new cycle is beginning, I think that all signs are pointing to that really well. Okay. I was going to use tarot for some more questions, but I think I'll use the Heart's Eye Oracle just to kind of look at what they need, what you need, and what they need, and advice for moving forward. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So let me grab that. Okay. Give it a shuffle. Sitting them right down on top. Getting all my stuff. All right. Right, group 1 with the speech moonstone. That's nice. This connection. This connection. What do we need to know? What do you need? You, the viewer, are number 1 with our peach moonstone. What do you need now? Love. God. What do they need? What does the other person need? New beginnings. Okay. you need to have faith in what you know in your heart. You need to embrace all the complexities that come with true and deep love. You need to trust that you are loved and that you know the truth on a deep level of what is happening and how you feel and how another person feels. The other person in this connection gets the new beginnings card, and I really feel that. I feel they need to come out of kind of, like I said, a funk. They want a fresh start. They want to grow. I feel a real desire to grow and a willingness to start again. This person is also being, protected and watched, not only by your love, like they feel that. They feel you, your consistency and your concern. And they, I think that if you've been able to like just let them be in this sort of, space of sorting things out, they appreciate that sort of like, it's cozy, but it's space. Like it's like they know that you care about them and appreciate that you're giving them the space to do what they need to do, go through the ending of a cycle. I think this person has had to really deal with some things, and you've probably been a bit of an inspiration for that. And one more for what you should know moving forward. Number one, you need to know moving forward. Regret. I feel that you need to know that this person is not regretting any of the love that they have shared with you. They are not regretting any of the time that you've spent together, and you hopefully are not in that space either, because there is a peacefulness and there is a mutual respect and care here. I feel moving forward, there's a piece of like basically forgiveness, like forgiveness for the way things have happened, for the shadowy parts that may have been more uncomfortable. Like if you do come back together again, this is advice on what you need to know moving forward. If you are coming back together again, there's a message here that you have to let some of the rough stuff go. Like if you felt any betrayal or hurt, like you have to make sure that you are sitting in your own, in your own quiet and dealing with like the things that don't feel good, and like doing what you need to do to heal from that and let that go and not bring it back into the next cycle. Do you understand? Like, I find especially with this landing over this Nine of Wands, which is, courage and strength, and the Six of Wands about like worth and value and feeling important, anything that made you feel weaker, anything that made you feel like you didn't matter to this person, you need to understand that none of that is true. And you know, in order to move forward in a fresh way, it's really important that you know, hurts from the past are released. Okay, so I think that's what I have. That's all I have planned, and I hope that it meant something to you, and please do let me know, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Hello to group 2. You chose Way Home Tarot with this black moonstone and blue apatite. So, you know, I always clear and the cards in the deck, and I went through the deck and I found the moon because I wanted to pull that, but I noticed the bottom deck energy on all 3 groups, and I was like, ooh, I want to use this. And then I realized I wanted to use not only the top one, but the next one. So I have 2 cards from your deck just to help me with the current vibe of the connection. That's what this is. So we have Strength and Magician. Okay. We have Fish, Strength. And when I saw that and that together, I was like, oh wow. I'm always like, oh wow, when that happens. I swear I didn't have anything to do with it. That's how it happened. And Scorpion and Ring. So let me tell you a little bit about what I am seeing here for this connection, the current vibe, energy of the connection, and then, you know, you'll know whether it really feels like it could be your situation. It may not be the most specifically detailed thing. It's just a vibe of an energy of a connection, you know, not necessarily the details. Okay, so, you know, first of all, Strength and Magician coming up like that, major arcana, I feel like that alone just tells me that at least you and probably the person, like maybe you're each individually in a pretty like kind of pivotal point in your life, like a real kind of like a place where you're transitioning and, you know, you're growing to your next kind of level, and there's a lot of life changes probably happening, and a lot of, you know, testing your own manifestation abilities, and both in life and metaphysically, right? So it's just to be majors alone. There's also, you know, it speaks to me about that being kind of like a time in your life that is like significant, that each of you is probably in separately. And also with Strength and Magician, I'm just, there's this feeling of just really needing to believe in yourself and you want to believe in any kind of connection where you're spending your energy. And nobody wants to waste energy here. I feel this real feeling that both of you probably have of wanting, you know, everything you're doing at this stage in life and at this place, and you could be in very different places and stages, and still this could be true, where you really want, it's a real focused kind of like desire for the way you spend your time and energy to be leading you to where you should be. And I think that's present in each of you, and in the connection itself, I believe it is has been sort of like triggered or raised, this sort of question of whether or not you know, are living to your fullest, you know, potential. Is this like, you know, what you are wanting? Are you like, is this what it's meant to be? Like, is there more that you want that you can bring into your life, call in? With the fish always bringing up emotions to me. I also get the feeling that there's an all over the placeness of, I know that's not a word. There's a feeling of this connection being kind of all over the place and being sort of like frenzied, if you will, like just this kind of like there can be hot and cold going on, but there's definitely a feeling of like, yes, no, let's do this. Okay, let's do that. Like a real sort of like hyperactive kind of feeling off the fish. And again, the strength just really reiterated what I said over here, but like there's a feeling of really needing to find your inner strength and face your own kind of like questions individually. But in the connection itself, of course, those questions will come around whether or not it is working or in the best interest. With Scorpion, this particular Scorpion's always about transition to me anyway, but this particular deck, it's really cool because it's really just largely about passion. And I have a moon in Scorpio, so I understand this 100%. I feel that this connection is probably darkly passionate. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like there's a real chemistry and a real sort of like draw that is like kind of just like that lustier passion type of thing. This very draw toward transformative sex, possibly, but like definitely just this real desire within each of you to be living to your fullest and to just go all like deep, be diving into your own deep waters, your own, and whether or not that leaves room for another person is to be determined. There's a real kind of independent feeling here, and then there's this ring, which just kind of like you know, like really gave me the clue. I get the feeling that somebody in this connection thinks they want, you know, I think somebody in this connection definitely wants deeper bonds, wants meaningful promise, and wants something more serious, wants something more heavy, wants something committed, wants something that will stay. And I think that is not necessarily how both people are feeling, or there's the question of whether or not this is that thing. There's somebody in this connection may be just sort of like a little distracted and less focused on the connection, and this person, this other person is like wanting more, not getting the fulfillment that they really deep down seek. And there's a matter of like facing the fact that you do want more, and whether or not it's with this person. You know, sometimes you're like, oh, this is good, this is hot, this is fun, and I would do this, I want to do this. But then you're like, is this really what I want to do? Like, is this really the one that I want to like invest that much time and energy into? So, you know, that's the vibe that I'm getting off of all of this for the connection itself. Like, seems a little all over the place, seems inconsistent, seems like there's a lot of passion, seems like someone wants more than the other, seems like both people really want what's best for themselves individually. And there's just been a question of whether or not, you know, this would be a good place to like hang for a while or to move on. That's the feeling that I get. So let me put these back in here, and let me clear this a little bit and we'll get into some questions. how did those get turned over? Whatever. I feel like this connection may be triggering all kinds of things that needed to come up at the very least. I just thought I would mention that because it was really occurring to me. Okay, questions. The first couple cards I want to get are about how this connection started, you know, like how it was when it was beginning. Okay. I think it probably came off as, you know, I want to say like I almost want to say like a friends with benefits or just a casual, I'm doing this for myself thing. Like two independent people with their own minds on other things getting together and being like, oh, this is nice, this is fun, right? And then this daughter of wands talking about, oh, daughter, sorry, is a page, you know, a lot of passion again, but also like just sort of this excitement to explore it, because it was like oh look, this is this is fun. Like, this is a good connection. Like, I get the feeling that, like, off the bat, it was two people who were, like, kind of surprised by how good it felt and how sort of the chemistry between you felt like, you know, passionate and fiery, and also maybe just really like, I get this really like excited, you know, this really just like feeling of initially being really curious where it could go and really into exploring it, because it was kind of like, ooh, this feels like an awakening a little bit, like, ooh, this is nice for a change, right? For a change. That's a big feeling that I get. So that's kind of the vibe on how I think the connection began, like the energy of the connection when it started. And then how it's going. Yes, I said how it started, how it's going. I stole my questions from popular culture. How is it going right now? Like, what's the current... We did the oracles, but let me see more about how this is going. What's currently happening in this connection? All right, 7 of Wands. I think there's been... Hold on. What's going on in this connection? An 8 of Pentacles. So current energy is looking like there was a bit of there may have been a breakdown, or really it feels like a bit of a confrontation and an argument, like, and connected to this 8 of Pentacles, I just feel like there was a real kind of like lapse in communication and judgment, possibly. And then there's this feeling of a current situation where things may be a bit tense. There may be some actual like misunderstandings happening. There may be some high emotions right now, high on the, like, you know, the emotions can fluctuate in an instant, and you can have all of them in one sitting, but the feeling is that there's a bit of a the tension here currently is I don't want to say hostile, but slightly, you know, like there's this slight sort of like, there's a feeling of resentment I'm getting. There's a feeling of there not being any way for this to really work and to grow and not being, there's really just like I feel like there was a bit of a halt to the progress, like just a real like stop to what was started, and like what felt like this exploration and this growth and this kind of like just moving through it and taking it as it comes and like building on it and really kind of looking ahead and trying to see how it could work, how this could be, how this connection could like last and grow and be even more abundant and fruitful and more of this good stuff. But for some reason now it feels like there's a current energy of defensiveness, like big time boundary stuff, like big time one or both of you really just being like 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 I don't know about this, and also I get the feeling like even a wondering like why you even, how you even saw a future. Wow. Okay. Sorry. Let's see how it's looking. So I guess I'm basically saying it looks like there's currently a state of, you know, things are not great. Things may be completely detached, completely severed in space and separation in the middle of an argument. Could be yeah, I would definitely say that this is not currently a happy, excited place. All right. How's it looking moving forward? What is happening in what's the emerging energy of this? What's the emerging energy between these two? Fool. And the Magician has returned. Is that in there? Okay. Okay. Fool and Magician, both majors. The Fool about letting go, and the Magician about making things happen. I mean, we really just went 0 to 1 for emerging energy. This just tells me that well, I feel like the emerging energy is at the end of the day, you're each going to look out for your own selves, and you may have to, you may be going on your separate journeys. Like that's just the feeling, but it doesn't necessarily have to apply. I think that there's a real pull to coming up for moving from, you know, having faith in the process and then harnessing your own power. Like there's like moving from, you know, moving from a place that is like entirely unknown and unexpected and probably a little like nerve-wracking in that way, like, and just letting go of that and doing what you can, you know, like basically what is that serenity prayer? Accept the things you cannot change and you know, the power to change the things you can, or I don't know the poem, but like there's just that vibe here, like coming in for the connection itself of both parties involved really needing to accept things and do what you can with what you have. I know that's kind of vague, but it really depends on your situation, if that feels right to you. What in the chord of the connection is changing? How is the structure of the bond changing? Ten of Swords. Structure of the bond is changing. Three of Wands. Well, so Ten of Swords immediately hit as an ending, you know, a severance, a complete like breakdown, right? I feel like the Three of Wands coming with it is really just you know, Three of Wands is looking at the future and planning ahead and kind of making things happen and knowing, you know, getting ready for that, you know. And I have to say, it does look to me like letting go and moving on. It does look to me like accepting that something has run its course and thinking ahead of you know, what else is out there. Let me see if I'm sorry, that, you know, it's like they can't all be come up roses, right? And I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just trying to give you the truth here on what I'm getting, and it may or may not be your situation. But this just feels like something that has, like I said, like run its course, and I believe it feels like the energy of you know, the structure of this cord between you. You know, this could be taken two ways. The structure of the cord, like the energetic cord between you, like what holds you to each other, seems to be severed, destroyed. But and that is leaving, you know, in its wake this place of like looking, like I said, like at whatever else is out there, like planning ahead and moving forward and looking at the bigger picture, and I think also an element of realizing something more that you wanted anyway. With that ring card in the beginning, like somebody wanting more. I think there's more out there, and I think that both people can almost use this connection as a gauge, you know. Let me look at anything that has been, is or has been hidden within the connection. Is or has been hidden. is or has been hidden. Okay. Listen, you know, this is the Emperor and the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords speaking about always kind of a dishonest vibe, you know. There's Seven of Swords is probably my most uncomfortable card in the whole deck. It has to do, I think, with selfishness here, especially beside this Emperor. And I think that what has been hidden is intentions and just the truth about who somebody really truly was. Like, I don't, you know, I think the truth, the confidence that this person has conveyed, or like the confidence that you think you've seen in them is like not accurate, like, to how they actually truly feel about who they are and where they are and what they're doing. You may have perceived this person to be very like compassionate and somewhat reliable, someone who had like a ton of you know, like a masculine force energy, kind of like, I'm not saying it's a masculine person, but like that kind of like king of all kings, like got it kind of going on vibe. And then, but here with the Seven of Swords, I think what has been hidden is the fact that that's not how they really feel or how they see themselves. And I just feel called to say that you have to remember. I just think about this song by Bat for Lashes called Traveling Woman, and it said something like never fall in love with potential. And I think that that's important here, because I feel like you may have been willing to really attach to the potential of this connection and the person that you thought you were dealing with. And it's not that they were a complete lie, but like, I just don't believe they were as grand as you look for the best in people. You know, you look at the good, and here you are, you know, dealing with somebody who's kind of all over the place and not exactly this person. Like when I said that fish and that you know, in the beginning we had that sort of distracted and like hot and cold energy. Yeah, like I think this person really doesn't know what they want. The Emperor knows what they want, but what is hidden from this connection is that this person came off that way. But the truth is, the Seven of Swords saying to me here, that is not how it was. This person does not know what they're doing. I'm sorry. And then what is the shadow of the connection revealing? Meaning the less comfortable feelings, the shadowy parts, the hidden parts, if you will, this kind of stuff. What is shadow revealing in this connection now at this point? What is shadow revealing to you? The Hanged Man. What is shadow in this connection revealing? And the Page of Swords. So I believe here, I think they're in there. The more difficult parts of this connection have brought up in you, and probably in them as well, the need to gain perspective, the need to kind of shake it off and like chill for a sec and like really go deep. You know, the Hanged Man is Neptune, and that's your like deep knowing, your deep understanding, your deep emotions, and your intuition. And so, like, I think that, you know, it's the parts that hurt or have been difficult are telling you and showing you how important it is for you to, like, take moments, take rest, meditate, just like I said, just chill, just like chill, just stop, just when I say stop, I mean just stop, like stop what is happening, stop what you're doing, and just pull out and hang there and look with you know, try to gain a different perspective of the situation. You know who you are, and you may not know exactly who this person really is. Things you may have sensed may be true, but the important thing is to pull back and take a good look. And this Page of Swords, speaking about, like, I'm seeing here with the, you know, when you pull back and look at this perspective, how cute that this is like a, you know, like thinking about it, like the discomfort that you have felt in this connection is an opportunity to be reminded, to pull back and just really, like, think about, you probably want to go through, like, a real analytical process about it. Like, you want to think about, like, what has really gone down. You're probably questioning whether or not you've been lied to, or, you know, what to trust, or, like, maybe even having some feelings of doubt in your own intuition, like, like, oh, you know, like, why did I think that this was a good idea? You know, you could have some of that. But like I said, shadow revealing to you, all that uncomfortable stuff revealing to you that, like, just step out, reassess, because you know who you are, and you know what you want, and you know what you need. And beyond that, you don't need to allow yourself to be tricked. Not that someone's maliciously tricking you, but really just tricked by your own real, like I said, like, you see the potential, like that real kind of, like, nature to just want to, like, give everything the benefit of the doubt, give a person the benefit of the doubt, and, like, move forward and see how things go. And unfortunately, like, opening your energy like that can doesn't always end, you know, pleasantly. So it just feels like this connection is in disconnect. Here there's this problem, and then there's this disconnect that I'm getting here, and this Seven of Swords here. Like, I don't know any other way to tell you, you know, what I'm seeing, except to say that I think that you can and will do better with this Three of Wands. And I'm going to, gosh, this feels so harsh. And I'm just going to go, but some people want to hear things like this. And I've said it before in another reading, like, sometimes you'll hear something and you're like, that's not my situation. But that's a useful reading, because then you're, like, thinking about what your situation really is, like, on an intuitive level. And, like, you hear something and you're like, no, that's not us. But you know what you are. You know, so readings, you know, sometimes they affirm or confirm your feelings, and sometimes they remind you what your feelings are, that, you know, and what they're not. So I'm using this Heart's Eye Oracle, and I'm going to look at your needs, their needs, and what you should know moving forward. Just put this down right here. Looking for messages about your needs right now. Your needs right now. Messages about your needs right now. Number 2, Black Moonstone, Blue Apatite. Forgive. Okay. Easier said than done, but don't hold on to, or try not to hold on to anger, disappointment, and all that shadowy stuff like for too very long. Feel it and let it go. And with the letting of that go, like this particular card is so beautiful. I should show them up close more often. See the wish dandelion flying off? That's how I see you right now. I see if you can just genuinely let it go. Just take it for what it was to you and what it was meant to be. And sorry, my phone went off. And just really go into a place of moving forward genuinely. This is, you know, for your needs to be showing up over here with this what feels like the connection ending and looking forward, you know, try not to hold on to the hurt for too very long. Like, but do feel it. That's how you let it go. You have to let it come through you. And, you know, there are a million ways to do that. And I won't tie up the video talking about all that, but like letting it go and maybe realizing, I think, that this person wasn't maliciously, you know, trying to hurt you. They really just are all over the place themselves, like that fish, and they really just don't feel as good as you thought they did. Just because you projected onto a person that they were better than, I don't mean better, but like that they were like something more or more ready or more giving or more into you or any of those things, than they actually were. Like, you know, if you projected that onto a person, try to separate when you go over here and look and pull back and take a look at the bigger picture here, and like you think about like what's gone down between you. Like, hopefully realize that this person, it wasn't really just about hurting you at all. It's just about you getting kind of entangled with someone who isn't all the way available. Like, I really get emotionally unavailable here with the Emperor and the Seven of Swords. And they may have even told you that, but maybe you didn't quite believe it. But I think, yeah, like with this card, I just think it's really important for you to keep an eye on your future and your next moves and your wishes, and like try to let any negativity go that you can, and don't let that hold you back. Because like if you're sitting in that energy and you're feeling like hurt, or you're feeling pain, or you're feeling anger, all of that stuff is going to like slither its way into where you're going next, and you don't want that. Like, let it go and make new wishes and make new ideas and new plans and new, you know, move toward new ideas and dreams. Okay. And then what this person needs, I mean, we'll look at it. I don't think, you know, hopefully this is about understanding. So what does this person need? This person right here. Look at this person. Oof. Sorry. I guess when I look at these cards, I see more than what I'm saying, and I don't, sorry, never mind. This person, that person, what do they need? Nourish. They need to take care of their shit. They need to take care of themselves. They need to grow. They need to learn about, you know, becoming the Emperor. They need to be honest with themselves and like, and reach for their own personal light and find their own way. Okay. And then what you should know moving forward through or from this connection. What you should know moving forward. Protection. Protect your energy. If this person, if you feel yourself moving on and doing well and feeling good, don't be surprised if they want to hit you up again. And I don't know where that came from, but like the protection card is just telling me, like, don't make the same old mistakes moving forward with this person or with anyone else. Like, try not to lose your head in like things that feel good and are exciting, because, you know, didn't you have the Scorpion? Yeah. Like I told you, like there's this passion and this depth and this like desire to just go hard, right? And like I think that I relate to that, but like at the same time, you cannot just dive in with every single person that it feels like cool and interesting with, you know? Like there's a and I don't think it's any mistake that I just watched someone talking about this, but there's something to be said for taking things a little bit slow, as and I know it can be hard because new exciting feelings are fun to run with, but like getting to know who a person really truly is vital in, you know, protecting yourself as you let them in. Okay, so, you know, I just feel with this to tell you that like you have good precious energy that is yours, and where you put it is your investment, and like you don't want to lose it. So like don't be too quick to just hand over your power or your you know, all your emotions, or throw all your eggs in one basket. Like, you know, it's okay to slow the pace and take things slow enough to like really learn about who it is you're about to like give all that to. Are they worthy? Are they ready? You know what I mean? Okay, so that's what I have for this reading, and I hope it was helpful. And yeah, I'm sorry that wasn't entirely pleasant. But I think, you know, it's important that we see these readings sometimes when we have a burning question. And it did feel in the beginning, you know, it did feel, I said there's a need for individual strength. There was all this passion. Somebody wasn't getting what they wanted anyway. And somebody was all over the place. I remember telling you that. So if that's the case and that's true for you, just remember you have better things coming. Okay? It does get better. And yeah, I'm sending you my best. See you next time. Hi to group 3. You chose SERPENTFIRE Tarot with Tiger Eye and Chrysocolla. Okay, sorry. I got the oracles while I was charging my device, and I decided I did something I haven't done before, which was I took note. I noticed the bottom deck energy, you know, because my deck was all cleared, and then I went through and found the moon, and then I realized there was this bottom deck energy on for each deck, and I was like, oh. And then I looked at the second card behind it, and I was like, yeah, and it was just feeling. I was like, yeah. These are significant. So before I even did the oracles, I took the top 2 or bottom 2 from this deck to help me out with the current vibe of the connection. And the first one I got for your group is 2 of Cups, and the second was 6 of Pentacles. Gave me a vibe, and it was pretty nice. So got raccoon, fear, river, and moth. Everybody in? Okay. Yes. So, you know, off the bat, like what I got with the 2 of Cups and 6 of Pentacles, just immediately talking to me about the current vibe of this connection. I do feel like on a spiritual level, on an energetic plane, this connection is good, you know, like it's about reciprocity and a spiritual bond. Like this is a beautiful thing. That's why I was so excited about it. And then I started going through here and I was like, oh, like, so let me get into that. First of all, raccoon in this particular deck especially speaks of creativity. So I think that it's highly possible that both or at least one of you is highly creative. And so that it all kind of makes sense as I go through the rest of it. But yeah, because there's a lot of self like introspection and a lot of like you know, concern about, like when you think of raccoons, like this concern about like taking care of what you need and like being a little on guard and like you know, they're known as these sneaky little bandits. Like I used to have this raccoon problem where they were coming into my garage where my cat's food was and they were eating all the cat food, and like I can't feed all the raccoons. Like, I mean, come on. Like it was, and my cats were eating pretty good food. So it's like, you're killing me. And I tried so many things to try to scare them away, like lights and sounds. And, you know, I left the radio on, like they just were persistent. So I would like to address this persistent other stuff that I'm getting. And, you know, another thing about raccoon is the mask, obviously, the bandit, you know, like there's this shadowy nature, they're nocturnal creatures. So it's in there too, like not just this creativity and this like sneakiness, like, and I don't mean that the relationship is sneaky. I think there are sneaky feelings. I think there's fear and anxiety that sneaks in, and it probably sneaks into every connection that you have. It probably or them, somebody in this connection is experiencing or has experienced like just stuff coming up, you know, like this this kind of like bubbling to the surface, like what vulnerability brings up and what feeling good may reflect in your own personal like inner child and like wounds and necessary healing that needs to go down. Like there's just stuff coming up, and it's because like, you know, Two of Cups is talking about something really wonderful. So sometimes a lot of us are a bit triggered by something good because it feels like too good to be true, and we worry about losing it. We have fears of abandonment or neglect or being misunderstood. Like there's a lot of stuff that can come up. This river card is talking about connectedness and also forgiveness. It is important that you remember that we're all just, you know, it's the river of life, you know, and we have to like learn to go with the flow and like let the emotions flow and let them flow in and let them flow out. Like this real feeling of on the river, like there's another feeling about the river that I'm getting that is about that cleansing, you know, that purification, and that there's, you know, when it can be, I don't know, like I just keep feeling like you can be in the, say you're in a river and you worry about going over a waterfall, or you worry about like stepping on a sharp rock or a venomous something, you know, like there's a lot of mystery under there, and like it can be murky in parts and clear in others, and there's just a lot going on, and it's hard to just relax and trust and float down the river sometimes. And it's easy to get kind of caught up in like what's under the surface and what's beyond where you are right now, you know, like worried about what's ahead, worried about what's underneath, and like just, you know, this raccoon, like the shadowy stuff and these fears coming up. And this moth is actually about anxiety in this deck. It's actually about what was it called, shit, I can't remember the word now, but this is about anxiety and doubts in this particular, and oh, self-destruction, that's what it was. Yeah, like, you know, that whole like seeking seeking trouble where there isn't any, and like how moths go to a flame, that whole thing, that whole idea of like just like moth seeking flame and then getting burnt. Like there's just a whole lot of energy here around worry and concern. Worry about things not working out, worry about being vulnerable, worry about things hurting, being sensitive, feeling things come up that you know, aren't comfortable, essentially. But all in all, it's kind of wild because I definitely get the feeling that the connection itself, you know, these worries and these fears are coming up, but the connection itself is fair and generous and sweet and deep and significant and meaningful. So it's a tough one. I just really get the feeling that somebody here needs to deal with the things that are coming up. And because if you want to ever be able to have the beauty of a reciprocal, mutual, spiritual love, and you want so badly this connection that is so sweet and divine, and you want that. I mean, even Tiger Eye and Chrysacola, I feel that, right? Like you really want that, and then there's this stuff that gets in the way, and it's just underneath, and it's like it's being brought to the surface by this connection. And I feel, I mean, my inclination is to say that it's you that is feeling all of this, you know, that I think that's how that's working. But as far as like on the connection as a whole, the current vibe of it, this may be affecting your connection, of course. So I'm going to get these out of the way, and we're going to get some tarot and I'm asking some questions. I'm going to give these a clearing, some clearing. It's really just a matter of getting those 3 cards we had out in there, getting a fresh shuffle. All right. All right. Number 3. Okay. First thing I'm going to ask is about how this connection started, the energy of this connection in its beginning. Show me the energy of this connection in its beginning. There's that 6 of Pentacles. I think there was just a real instant interest in sharing and getting to know each other. Really, just from the beginning, like a feeling of like 2 people who were mutually interested, like no real questions there. And strength. It was, I mean, strength is the card in the deck that I always feel silly trying to talk about, because I'm like, you know what strength card is, right? Like, but I'll just say, let me just take it to Leo, because strength being Leo and Sun. Okay, the energy in the connection at the beginning when this started was mutual. It was understood. There wasn't really a lot of question. It was like, I like you, you like me, this is good, we're gonna do this, that kind of feeling. And then with the strength card in particular, I'm gonna, like I said, look at Leo and the Sun and convey the message to you that it just felt good. It felt strong, it felt right. It felt like a burst of kind of glorious radiance. Like it's the only way, like if I'm thinking about the Sun, like just this kind of like dawning of a new day feeling, really. Like it just really felt, I believe, to both of you, like super definitely mutual, but super just there, you know, like oh, I'm here, like, you know, in like a lion kind of thing, like really just like walking in. The connection just came walking into your lives, like, hey, look at me, I'm here to like lift you up, I'm here to like make you feel like a king, queen, whatever you want to be, you know. Like, I think that that is what the energy of the connection was in the beginning. And now can I look at the current, oops, sorry, the current energy here. Current energy. Page of Cups. There's still a sweetness happening between you. Page of Wands. Look at these pages. These sweet, neat. There's, okay, so that the pages alone are just telling me that, like, between the two of you is innocence and purity, you know. Like, it's just this feeling that between the two of you, there are emotions, and there is passion, and there's creativity, and it's spiritual. There's a lot of you know, inspiration involved here, like the cups being imagination and wands being inspiration. Like, there's a lot of life force energy in the connection. I don't know what's going on necessarily logistically right now between you, but as far as like on the energetic plane, like as it exists, the connection, you two are just really good together, you know. Like, it's good together. I don't really know how else to say that. Like, the Page of Cups has given me just such sweet you know, sweet emotion, you know, like this romance and this like inspired love and attraction, you know, like a real, I hear adore you. Like, there's this feeling of like adoration here. Oh, sorry, losing it. And then the Page of Wands is also talking about just like this energy of just wanting to be feeling like hungry for more, and being like so excited by the possibilities, and like just feeling, you know, the connection itself wants to be, it wants to burn, you know, and warm and inspire you both. Okay, that's just on an energetic plane. The connection itself is inspired, it is genuine. And then moving forward, how is the energy of this connection looking? 9 of Wands. Oh gosh, look at those leopards looking at each other, and those lions in the background. Those lions? I can't see. I don't want to have to start wearing glasses in my readings. Whatever. Okay, 9 of Wands, current. Oh, how it's looking. How the energy of this connection is looking. Like, what is emerging? 8 of Pentacles. So, in the connection, there's a feeling of wanting to protect it. You know, like, I think both of you want to like treasure and protect it. I think you want to like take care of it and continue to feel good about it. There's a sense of the connection bringing you both a more confidence, and also just like wanting to go deeper, wanting to this 8 of Pentacles, speaking about like wanting to I think just really just wanting it to continue to evolve and grow, because I think there's this feeling this emerging energy between the two of you, this feeling of limitless possibilities, you know, like this feeling of like wanting to take it on and wanting to really be kind of like ride or die for each other and wanting to grow together and let it be this beautiful thing that it is. That's the energy that I'm getting. This is really lovely so far. Whew. Okay, what is changing in the cord of the connection, in the structure of the cord of the connection? What is changing? It's different from evolving. I mean, it's different from emerging energy. Like this is emerging energy, I feel, you know, as in like where the connection will be soon. And this question is more about like actual concrete structural changes in the bond. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, 6 of Wands. And one more for the changing structure of the energetic cord between you. 2 of Swords. Okay. So it seems like in the cord between you is what is structurally changing is being able to, how should I say, you both being able to count on this, you know what I mean? Like being able to okay, definitely growth happening, definitely continued support, you know? I guess that's what I'm saying. Like support. Like there's this feeling of you being extremely there for each other. Like support and like did I say ride or die up here? Because I get that again here. And the 2 of Swords thrown in there, you know, I feel with this Libra sign, I believe, there's this feeling of having to remain calm as storms pass through. Like that just happens. Like, you know, the world is turning, the moon is going around and around, we're going around and around, like things are always changing and things are always changing. And there is this consistent support feeling that is growing within the cord of connection between you, like this unmistakable reliability, you know, and this unmistakable respect between you that just exists, but coupled with this idea of like, you know, having to compromise sometimes and having to just sometimes just pause, right? And not always feel the rush of the anxiety of what's next. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 of Swords energy would be sitting at any moment of indecision or unknowingness and being comfortable there and knowing that and trusting that this person is going to be there. You know, you love and care for each other. There's a lot of respect and a lot of mutual understanding of each other. There's a lot of strength in this connection. There's a lot of sweetness. There's a lot of every good thing so far, except for this fear that trickles in. And that's where I feel this is really relevant in the structure of your cord, is this growing kind of like capacity to face those moments of unknowingness and uncertainty. And that could be one or both of you that has to encounter these sorts of things. When you encounter a relationship, like you had the 2 of Cups and the 6 of Pentacles, when you encounter like a deep spiritual healthy connection like that, it like I said, it may feel too good to be true and bring up stuff. And then like here, you know, I just think in the structure is this learning that, you know, you are worth each other's pause and reflection when it comes to these sorts of like unknowingness and uncertainties, or you know, just moments of that you need to kind of reflect on what's actually happened versus what is fear, you know, reality versus like triggers of deep stuff that you know, that shadowy stuff that we were talking about with the, you know, back here, the fear and the concerns about what's underneath, and that sort of like this one with the anxiety, yeah, and the shadow. So I sense a can I put this here? I don't know if it's in the frame. That the cord of the connection is healthy and growing stronger and being able to take on more of the parts that have been more shadowy for somebody, if not both of you. Okay. Is there anything hidden? Can we look at hidden parts of this connection? What is hidden in this connection? What is under the surface for real? Hidden in this connection? Ace of Swords. More. 10 of Swords. Okay. So that's telling me there's definitely from Ace to 10 of Swords, like where there's this clarity and this like knowingness, like this truth and this like taking steps forward and moving ahead in like clarity and truth, to this 10 of Swords, which is you know, like total breakdown, like everything's fucked up. And it's like, you know, to get the two of these together here for hidden aspects of the connection, that is speaking to me. It's something that isn't so hidden, and it's that you can vacillate between this like clarity of knowing and this like fearing the worst. You understand? Like knowing it's good, moving ahead, like charging ahead, feeling good. It's almost like a knight energy on this ace. And like, you know, just feeling like you know the truth and you know it in your heart, and it feels right to you. And then you have this vacillation of, you know, this feeling of, oh God, you know, it's all going to be over. It's all going to end. It's going to be taken away from me. There's this total breakdown. And like, I want to say like, taking it too far, like getting carried away, spiraling, you know, there's that feeling, and that sort of just like getting lost in the fear and the anxiety of it. So it's really not so hidden because we've already been talking about it. I don't know how aware each of you is of each other's process of this, whether it's one or both of you that is doing this. I think it may actually be both of you, which is kind of intense, but I think you might both also be like creative, like the raccoon, like we were saying, which doesn't surprise me if that's the case. Like it's easy to be like, for any of us to look at something and be like, you know, we all have our insecurities. And I think that sometimes in part of understanding each other so well and finding each other the way you do is like, and is that willingness to trust each other and hold each other in a place of regard, where you're learning from each other and you're learning through the beauty and the pain of it, you know, like. And if you like someone enough and you've got this strong connection, and it's so sweet and it's so good and it's so right and it's teaching you good things, and you've got to face these fears and these anxieties, then, you know, who better to do that with? If we're learning through our relationships, it looks to me like you've found someone that is really good for you to do that with. With the Six of Pentacles showing up in the beginning and again here, I also definitely, that's another thing that's making me feel like it really is quite possibly both of you than just one of you that experiences this stuff. You're probably triggering each other. You may have different wounds to deal with, and you will most definitely have different ways of dealing with them. Okay, let me look at what these shadowy parts, what is this fear and anxiety? Your shadowy parts are much more clear. The other readings, not necessarily, not that they didn't have them, they totally had them, but like your shadowy, this reading, your reading with the raccoon in the beginning has been about shadow. So like it's about triggered fear. The relationship itself is lovely, but like the stuff that comes up could destroy it. You know what I mean? Like, so like it's just, and not to make you more anxious about it, but like what are the shadowy parts of this connection revealing? Shadowy parts are revealing. The world. Okay, and the Empress. This is ultimate healing. The shadowy parts of this connection are showing you everything. They are showing you wholeness. It is showing you how to recognize complete, dedication to healing and more healedness. I can't say complete healing because that's not really something that happens, I don't think. But with this world here, there's this beautiful depth and meaning, and I always like to say, for me, like, the world is like my everything card, and I think there's a great deal of unconditional love between you. But I think the shadowy stuff that's coming up, the wounds that have been uncovered, the triggers that have arisen, are about showing you healing, and about, with the Empress against the world. This is major arcanas, and this shadowy nature of this connection is in itself a big thing that you're meant to deal with right now in life, both of you. This is, this Empress being like this beautiful Empress with this creative vibe that's on here is perfect, but like, this Empress is like an inspired will, like there's this feeling of wanting to heal yourself for yourself, but also finding in this connection the real inspiration to do it, and the real sort of oh, it's so beautiful. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. This very capable nurture that is found in this connection. There is a very the power that this connection has to inspire and facilitate healing is phenomenal. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It does feel like a very intentional process, though. So you're gonna have to, like, each of you take total ownership of, facing your own shit that comes up and facing certain parts of it together. Communication is key. You don't have a ton of communication cards here. But I feel like, well, the pages currently, I think trying to, speaking of pages, stay on the same page and like address this type of stuff is good. But however, some people are less willing to, like, it opens another wound, to be vulnerable and to express like how much something makes you feel vulnerable. Like, so like that may or may not come easy for you or the other person. All in all, this is looking like a hugely significant teaching, healing, growing relationship. Probably has the power to be the one, your soulmate, with that Two of Cups in the beginning. Certainly significant, though, no matter what. And I feel like it's a trustworthy place to do your growing. You know what I mean? Like growing with someone who is also growing, and being able to experience empathy and compassion for that while you do it is a beautiful thing. Like, that's what we would all wish for. Sometimes we have to grow through experiences that are extremely painful, and not that this couldn't have painful parts, but like, we have to go through experiences where in the end we're walking away completely separately, and that was the lesson. I don't think that's necessarily the case with this one. This is something where the two of you have the power to sustain. It's just a matter of you know, keeping your own selves in check, and it doesn't hurt to, you know, open up the communication and be willing and able to, you know, always remind the person that you're there. You know, like I said, this 9 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, I'm getting like real ride or die energy. The 2 of Swords talks to me about, you know, just these moments of not knowing what's going on, and this, and it leading into this Ace to the 10, and like this like clarity versus like confusion, and utter, like, you know, the dream versus the nightmare. Like, this is like a thing that comes with anxiety. So you just have to kind of like remember that who you both are and what your connection is. And if you can find trust in each other, or trust in it, trust in spirit, you know, even if you hit spots where it's not feeling like it's working and it's not going to work, and it, you know, in those moments when the other person can't soothe those anxieties and fears, like that, those are the times that you really just need to come back to this, into this knowingness that this is significant and it is teaching you, and you can just stop what you're doing, just stop and be patient. And you know, part of going deeper with somebody is going to involve being deeper within, and you know, in those moments that you are by yourself, whether that's like by yourself for the moment or by yourself for a period of time. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is look at your needs, their needs, and what you should know moving forward. And I'm using the heart's eye. Okay. This is number 3, Tiger Eye. To you, the viewer, Tiger Eye, and number 3, Pensacola, need to message about your needs right now, your needs in this balance. I mean, if this is stuff, you know, that you deal with, you know, you've got to balance this fluctuation of, you know, this contrast of we'll say optimism or security, this contrast in that with this knowingness and this trust. And like, you just have to find balance. You have to find balance. You need, it is important for you, you need to find the balance yourself, you know, like do not depend on the other person to provide that for you. I think they would like to if they could, but you got to remember that's a person who's got their own stuff to balance. So it's really just on you. And in the moments of uncertainty or fear or worry, separation, even if it happens or is happening, like you just have to find a way. Balance the breath, balance it in, balance it out, count, like slow it down, and just like, you know, like assess, hold your feelings, you know, maybe hold in this hand what you know to be true, you know to be true, these elements that you've brought into each other's lives, this sweetness between you, this love. Hold that in one hand, hold in the other hand all of your fears. And like, you know, you just kind of have to like sift these fears down until, you know, it's like manageable, you know, like you can look at this like from a real perspective, not just like a perceived like fear-based perspective, you know. It's like, these are real concerns. These are real truths. Okay. All the little things in here making this side heavy, that are just figments of my imagination and my brought into being by fear and anxiety and worry and trauma and wound and unhealed stuff. Like, no, lighten that, you know what I mean? I don't know what I just did. Anyway, their needs, the other person, what do they need? Enlighten. I feel like this person, you know, I feel like I didn't get a whole ton about them because I have, or at least I haven't, I don't know what I expressed, but I have felt so much what I felt is you and the connection, of course, but like in their needs in particular, I think that they, yeah, because this is really just the first time I've really dove into them, but I think they have a real need to kind of go through their own healing, like we're saying, and to deal with their own issues. I do think it is both of you that have stuff. They've got this stuff too. They've got this anxiety and this fear and this shadow stuff, these triggers. I think you're triggering each other. I mean, that happens. This is a Two of Cups bond. And I think that this person, if they may get caught up in their shadow. They may get really dragged down into it, like really dragged down into it. They've got a need to find the light, to be quite honest. And it's interesting. I think it just struck me because I really hadn't looked into them specifically so much, or considered that all of this was as much them as you. But I really think it is both of you. And while you need to balance, they need like enlightenment. Like, it's heavy. Like they actually really also need to like bring healing into their own wounds. And I think that through this connection, there's so much room for you both to do the things you need to do. All right. Now, what you should know about this connection moving forward. Something you should know about this connection moving forward. Nourish. Yeah. Just take care of yourself and, you know, take care of each other and let them take care of themselves. Like, there's going to be parts where you can give, and there are going to be parts where you need to like kind of just like allow them to do it. And I sense here with this as being like, you know, a message about something you should know moving forward. I feel like like I said, there's tremendous capacity in this relationship between you both for you to heal. And if you reach times when things are not so smooth or you're not even together, you need to remember that you can still be healing from the love that you've created. Once you've created this cord between you, and even if you're apart or one of you is aching or both of you are aching separately, there's still this beautiful energetic cord between you. And, you know, there's a lot of, like I said, respect. And I feel like you are able to provide for each other really essential kind of tools, tricks, reasons, emotions, inspiration, all the good stuff that each of you needs seems to be accessible in this connection, as long as, you know, the stuff that could get in the way being like of your minds, you're both you know, creative minds. If you look at this card, there's this behind this figure who's getting this bright rainbow of connection coming through. There's darkness, you know, and these eyes just watching. I don't know what I was saying before that. I got fully distracted, but there's definitely this feeling of you and them being able to get from the relationship so much necessary healing. It just won't always feel, you know, when you eat a good meal. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go with this one. If you eat a good meal and you just feel so satisfied and like happy and ready to like take a walk or take a nap or whatever after, it's just like, I'm not hungry, I feel completely satisfied. That hit the spot, right? So there's definitely some of that in your relationship. And then there's also like when you eat too much and you just feel kind of uncomfortable and you feel kind of like, why did I eat so much? I'm feeling kind of like sick. Oh my God, I'm making myself feel that by thinking it. But like the thing is, there will be times of that in this connection where you're just like overthinking, overdoing, overanalyzing, over worrying, overindulging, over wanting, over desiring. Like, I mean, honestly, just like this, like almost like addictive, excessive stuff, you know, independency kind of thing. And then there will be times where you feel kind of starved in the connection because like maybe you feel like you've got a need that isn't being met by this person and they can't do it or whatever, but you have to remember that some of this work is on you, and is that something that you're supposed to be dealing with yourself? Like you can't give that work to someone else, right? So yeah, that's what I've got. And this looks like a really beautiful connection, and it looks like you just have to not let your fears and worries get the best of you. Even in times when things don't feel like super connected, you are connected, and you'll stay connected as long as you're like, you know, just honest and trying, and being able to find that balance. Because if you overindulge in your own anxiety and worry and fears, it's bound to throw it off, and it's bound to affect the other person, because you're affecting each other and learning from each other. So it's important to take personal space, I think. All right, there you go. There we have it. And hope this was helpful in some way. Please do let me know, and take care of yourself. See you next time.